Watch the game while the beat flows. At the sports bar where anything goes. Laughter and joy, we're in the zone. On the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times, laughter and every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Come back for more. Tasty treats and soulful sounds. Feel the rhythm, it's where joy's found. With every cheer we come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. On the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times, laughter and every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Come back for more. Come back for more. Tasty treats and soulful sounds. Feel the rhythm, it's where joy's found. With every cheer we come alive. Come on in, let's thrive and jive. In this moment we find our groove. On the swivel at the sports bar. Cheering loud, feeling like a star. Good times, laughter and every score. On the swivel, come back for more. Swing on by, don't miss the fun. At the sports bar, the best begun. Come back for more. 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 Come back for more.
Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Unique Sports Talk. I'm your favorite baby boomer. We're going to talk a little bit of sports today. This is going to be probably a short show. It's been a lot of stuff going on. And so I put some stuff together, and I'm all over the place, but we're going to start with a few things that you guys know about. And we'll just take it from there, see how it goes. Some of my friends and buddies may come up. They may not, but that's okay. All right, so hit the like button. If you're up here, just even if you stay for a second, hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Share this channel with people. Subscribe to this channel, Unique Sports Talk. Or if you're on the other channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports, subscribe there. Join the chat. Let me know what you think about the topic. And on replay, if you watch this replay, leave a comment. All right. And everything I use is fair use. Just a typical disclaimer. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And now that I really have to take great pains to make sure I only use certain things because there's copyright kind of claims and claims everywhere, And fair use doesn't cover everything. So let's get it started. It's off season for football, but as we know, there's always something to talk about when football's involved. So, any of you guys know Nick Young? He has his thoughts on a mock draft. So, I just pasted his shit here. We're going to listen to him for a little bit, see what he has in his mind. I don't necessarily watch his show on FS1, but I know who he is. He's okay. I mean, he's okay, man. He's a LeBron enthusiast, but that's okay.
The number one pick, shocker, Fernando Mendoza. No shocker at all. Number 2 pick, Arvell Reese, linebacker, Ohio State. Sonny Styles. You guys like spider graphs of athleticism? His is 99th percentile everywhere. The pick everybody seems to all of a sudden believe is happening. I think it's one of the reasons the Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker was because everyone believes Jeremiah Love ain't going to be there at 9 because he ain't going to be there at 5. He's going to go to Tennessee. Carnell Tate, even with Neighbors, doesn't have, to me, a surefire number 2. They have real investment in Jackson Dart. Number 6 to the Browns, a team that on offense needs a bit of everything. Caleb Downs, then to Washington. David Bailey to the Saints. If it were to fall like this, I believe the Chiefs would run to the podium to draft Reuben Bain. They have not had a blue chip edge rusher. You could argue Mahomes' whole career, certainly since Frank Clark's first couple years there. You know what would be fun? More offense. Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. Dolphins, listen, they're in a full-on teardown. However, you did sign Malik Willis. You traded away his weapons. You at least want to give him a little bit of protection. Cowboys, I think, would run to the board to put to hand this pick in. Delaney out of LSU, Lemon out of USC to the Rams. Brew, I've got your Ravens going with the best available interior offensive lineman. The Bucs have been trying to address edge rusher in the draft for years. Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama, goes to the Jets. The Lions still need an edge rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson. They go with Messidor. The Vikings, Jordan Tyson, get Wild's guy, Bryce Young, some offensive line help with Monroe Freeling out of Georgia, CJ Allen out of Georgia, Caden McDonald, is to try to add right now depth and then eventually heir apparent makes sense there. They take one of the top interior offensive linemen, Pregnon, out of Oregon. The Eagles, I believe, anticipating an A.J. Brown trade, end up trading for Omar Cooper, the national champion out of Indiana. McCoy probably would have been a top 12 pick. The Bears thought they had their left tackle, and they unfortunately ruptured his patella tendon in the playoffs. They think he's going to be out basically all of next year. Caden Proctor, coach, he's the tackle from Alabama. They take another shot at it with Terrell out of Clemson. They go offensive line with Blake Miller from Clemson. The Texans always need to address offensive line. Tiemann out of Oregon. The Dolphins also take a safety. The Patriots, having lost Stephon Diggs, they take Denzel Boston out of Washington.
Did they lose Stephon Diggs or did they throw him away? I think they threw him away, it's more likely.
And the Seahawks, after losing a few defenders in free agency, add to their defensive depth with Cassius Howell, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M.
Well, so that's just his mock draft. So I think we're going to see a whole bunch of mock drafts all the way leading up to draft day. So just wanted to add that there. All right, some off-season moves, underneath in anticipation of the draft. This is a quick one. This young guy has a few things at a glance. It's not all-inclusive, but, it's just something to say in football. What's going on?
Here's all the major news you missed during the NFL offseason. We had a trade go down today as the Patriots are trading Marpe Mapu and a 7th-round pick over to the Texans for a 6th-round pick in return. If you want to keep up with everything happening this NFL offseason, make sure you hit that follow button. The Baltimore Ravens revealed that they're going to be releasing new jerseys on April 16th. Fernando Mendoza announced that he will not be attending the draft in Pittsburgh and that he's going to be watching it from home with his family. Several NFL teams have removed Reuben Bain Jr. from their draft board due to the concern of his arm length. Devin Achane was absent for the start of the Dolphins offseason workouts. John Harbaugh revealed that Malik Neighbors will return to the field closer to when the season begins and that Cam Scatterbo is expected back before him. Several NFL teams are evaluating Eli Stowers, a tight end from Vanderbilt, as a wide receiver. Dolphins GM John Eric Sullivan says that he views Malik Willis as the future quarterback of this team. Tucker Kraft is already seen running nearly full speed less than 5 months from tearing his ACL. There's more rumblings that an OBJ reunion with the Giants is still in play. ESPN's Rich Kibney during the 2023 draft was told by the Jets personnel that they weren't interested in drafting JSN due to his 40 time and that they only viewed him as a slot receiver. Here's all the major news you missed during the NFL.
Yeah, so we're here in the dog days, the final dog days of the NBA. And the Lakers are getting ready to get booted out of the 4th spot because Luka's hurt, and Reeves is hurt, and they've been losing, and the Rockets are charging, and so I think the Rockets will overtake them for that last spot. They're tied, and so when the Lakers fall down to fifth, and they'll probably hold on to fifth to the end of the season, that changes everything for them. That first round is not going to be a home playoff round against the Rockets, so that switches things. When Luka comes back, and they think he's going to come back, but how good is he going to be? I think it's a hamstring. So he may not even be able to play that series. And then, of course, Reeves, they say they're going to be able to get him back, but their momentum is going to be gone. So they're looking at a first-round exit. They're looking to lose home court. They're looking at a first-round exit against the Rockets. So there you have it. And hopefully – and nothing, no malice, is that if that happens, LeBron would finally say to the NBA, farewell, good night. Let's let the young boys take over. It's time for you to release the NBA so it can move on. That's just my thoughts. It's time for him to go. He still could play, but it's time for him to go. We're tired of hearing his name. You're 800 years old. You got all the money in the world. Go kiss your wife and do a few other things. Get the hell out of the way so the league can move on. That's just my thoughts. March Madness, of course, has come and gone. Michigan beat UConn in the men's side. I thought UConn was going to take it, but Michigan won. And, of course, UCLA is the big surprise. They dusted off South Carolina. The Lady Cox, which is, I don't know if anybody calls them that on TV, but it would be a great nickname, the Lady Cox. Well, anyway, so yeah, they got their ass kicked in the championship game, so I guess the coach, she left all her fight, against Gino Auriemma at the end of the Connecticut game. But hey, it was inevitable. That somebody was going to lose big. So UCLA looked pretty good out there. So anyway, so that's that. So moving on to the WNBA. They got some of their money. Some of them are happy. They changed. Angel Reese gets traded. Now, there's a guy who has a podcast. It's Ben Daniel podcast. He doesn't like Angel Reese. And so he's going to talk a little bit about her trade and what he thinks about it. And I don't disagree with him. And if you could tell, if you see these jerseys, brick jerseys, that's some cold-blooded shit, but that's funny.
Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Angel Reese in the headlines, the main story in the headlines for the first time since she was following a certain somebody around doing the John Cena can't see me. It's taken 3 years, but finally, Angel, you have returned. You have returned to being the number one story in women's basketball. Congratulations. You've earned it. Angel Reese traded from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream. And the reaction.
What's up, Rams? Can you hear me? Ramsey?
Payne, how you doing, sir?
All right, brother. What's going on, man?
Oh, no, you're doing it here. You're doing it.
Yeah, man. So I'm glad, good for popping up, man. We're on the WNBA. I didn't have much today, but this guy, he has a nice podcast, man. Boy, he's on the ladies all the time, man. But he's got a special love for Angel Reese. I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of him.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Has been nothing short of hysterical. Let's get right into it, shall we? I'm not going to keep you waiting. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's get right into it. The Atlanta Dream already selling the Angel Reese jerseys. They had a feeling they weren't going to be moving too fast. So you know what they did? They put them on sale. Oh, that's right, folks. Already, Angel Reese's jerseys are on sale, but luckily for Atlanta, they've already sold out. That's right. They've already sold out. The 25 jerseys that they've manufactured have already flown off the racks. Small, medium, large, extra large, double XL. They made 5 of each. It was an exclusive, and they are already sold out. Easily sold out because they only made 1 jersey. Do you get a free pair of Reese shoes with that? I'm shocked they had them ready like it was a pre-approved plan. I know a lot of Reese fans.
Look at this, dude. They got Angel Reese brick jersey. That shit's pretty funny.
That's clever. That's clever.
Fans were hoping these were going to be the new jerseys, the Atlanta Bricks jerseys. Unfortunately, this is going to be a special edition jersey, hopefully being laid out sometime during the season. What am I supposed to do with this? Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. I said this yesterday, and I stand by this. When Angel Reese is due for a contract extension and the Atlanta Dream don't give her a max deal, she's going to go somewhere else. So you might want to hold on to that, actually. You'll get the Chicago Sky jersey, the Atlanta Dream jersey. You might be collecting Angel Reese jerseys like they are Infinity Stones. Shout out to Thanos. Man, it's sold out. Y'all knew this was going to happen. She's the hottest player outside of Kaylin in Asia. Why only make a small amount? Come on. Announcement that she's... Well, they only made a small amount because they weren't expecting a large... a large demand, but they wanted to brag about it selling out. So they are. I know the WNBA took. Oh wow! You traded for a player who is. Please sell the authentic jerseys. You know what? I think we need to go down memory lane to really take a look at what the Atlanta Dream is getting with
There's one more minute after this. This part is funny.
With the player that they just traded for. I think we should go back. Shout out to the Pope. We should go back and take a look at the bloopies that she's given us. The Angel Reese highlight tape. Her best highlights as a member of the Chicago Sky. Boom. Pick and roll. Perfect pass by Vandersloot. Up. Bloopy. Pushing the ball up. Drop pass to Angel. Bloopy. Oh, man. This is what the Atlanta... Oh, folks, when you haven't seen the bloopy reel in quite some time, you forget the amount of bloopies. But hey, she's a solid rebounder. She's got a great motor. So at least she gets her rebounds back, I suppose. Nah. I suppose
that's so cold-blooded, man. Bloopy. Yo, man. So I don't know, man. He's got it in for Angel Reese, but she brings a lot of it on for herself, man.
Well, this is news to me, man. I didn't even realize she had been traded.
It just happened. But that whole thing about the jerseys is pretty funny.
That's hilarious. The brick jersey and
but why would you just they made 25 jerseys
sold out?
So they can say it's sold out. They only made 25 of them. That's funny.
No, that's funny.
I thought he was lying at first, but he's not. So that guy, he comes on, man. He follows the WNBA religiously, so he's got all the. He got all the scoops. So every time I want to find out what's going on, I listen to his stuff. All right, so hockey's still going. It's almost, I guess, hockey got like three games left too, just like basketball. You had anything to talk about on the basketball? Because did you hear me talk about the Lakers?
Yeah, I caught the beginning of it when you were talking about LeBron. It's time for him to perhaps hang up the Nikes, and move on. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him another year with Cleveland, let's say. Where he finishes out his career, where he started, back home, so to speak. I wouldn't mind seeing him there.
Yeah, it's just been rumors of him going back there, but this got to be, first of all, here's a problem for my argument, right? My argument is it's a bad. People say it's a bad argument because he could still get you 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Pretty easy, right?
Mhm.
You know, with the proper rest. He'll play 70 games. He can get you 20 points a game. When he's in the game, you have to have somebody on him. But, you know, it's just, sometimes there is a possibility of a person staying too long. Just like sometimes they have sitcoms or movies or series that are good, but they keep coming back for one more season.
Yep.
You know, it's like I don't want to say it's quite like the Willie Mays syndrome. You know, he had to keep playing because of money. But LeBron is almost a billionaire if he's not already there. And he can't, I think the NBA needs to breathe. It just needs to breathe where, because no matter what, as long as he's a player, he's going to be the center of attraction, especially for the major, like ESPN, they can't talk about anybody else.
Mhm.
So there you go. That's just my opinion, man.
Yeah,
So
but your point's well taken about, he can get you 20 points. And, for just about any team in the league, right? And he could probably be a starter for all 32 or all 30 teams, right?
yeah, you can
28
make
out
a
of
case
30
for it. You
teams
can
for
make a
sure.
case for it for sure.
So that has value, plus the fact that people still will come out to see him, people will still tune in to see him play. So you're
Well,
right, he doesn't need any more money, but the league probably certainly will benefit from him remaining one more year.
so you think he might? Well, listen, I think this will be if they don't win and the Lakers have a good chance of losing out of there, they're going to be out of that fourth spot. I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to it. Because without Luka and without Reeves, they on a little losing streak, and they've been losing badly too.
Yeah.
And Houston is tied with them. So that 4-5 flips. I think that home court makes all the difference in the world in that series.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely will. Yeah, so they're tied. I'm looking at your standings now. Yeah.
So that's the main thing about putting the standings up. When you just look at it, listen, and so I could look. On a side note, I'm looking forward to the what's it called? Not in season playoffs, but the playoffs, the
play-in
games. Yeah, that tournament. I like that tournament. Of course, nobody's going to want to play the Warriors in that tournament.
Right.
So if they capture 7 or 8, which is possible, so I don't know. But the East, I'm still scared for the Knicks. I think they're more like paper tigers. We'll see what happens. But at least they're going to get a home series.
Yeah, and Mike Brown was supposed to make all the difference, I guess. You had Thibodeau in there the last few years, and Mike Brown was supposed to make the difference. Now they still got a great record, but
what's the but? What's the but?
The but should be they should be above the Celtics, considering the Celtics, didn't have Tatum for most of the year. One could argue that they should be ahead of the Pistons, but certainly ahead of the Celtics.
Well, look at the Celtics record, though, man. The Knicks would have, well, first of all, I think the Celtics played better than they did, right? Before Tatum came back, and he's back now, man, their team was the surprise team all year.
Right.
So I think I believe the Celtics are going to beat the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Championship.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, they're healthy now. For certain, they're healthy. So.
Yeah, so I don't think the Knicks. It'd be nice for the top 4 to have their semifinals and whatever. But I really, once we get to the playoffs, man, it's always pins and needles with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
They could have a great regular season, but they get to the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, but the big thing, just the last point on that, the big thing was, they talked about Thibodeau last year and how he only used, 6, 7 players in the playoffs. And that wears the starters down, and hopefully that'll be a little bit different in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, well, hopefully. All right, so yeah, man, I'm glad you came up. We have a couple of things to talk about, I guess. You remember Molly Curum?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, she's playing. Molly now is. Let me see where. Let me just go ahead. And
Molly
play.
Curum is returning to a national sports stage, landing a key hosting role with the newly launched Zuffa Boxing. Curum will anchor studio.
Heard of Zuffa Boxing?
Never heard of it till just.
It's like one of those new, like DAZN came out with their boxing league.
Okay.
And this is like another one of those, and it has some big names and some big money behind it. So she's in this obscure little space, but it could blow up depending on the fights that they get and the fighters they get to sign with them.
Coverage alongside former light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver, boxing insider Mike Coppinger, and longtime reporter Mark Kriegel. The assignment also marks a professional reunion for Curum with Max Kellerman. Sean Hannity is pushing back against the FCC's plans to enforce the equal time regulations when it comes to political candidates, stating that there needs to be less government regulation and more freedom to let the American people decide where they get their information from. Barry Weiss has announced she's...
Well, this is more. I didn't know they were going to add this part to the Molly Curum. Barry Weiss and all these guys, that's a different whole story. But anyway, so that's where Molly is, you know. She didn't get that big contract that she wanted with ESPN, you know, so she left. And so she's in some obscure space, but I would imagine we'll see if it grows.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't surface earlier with a bigger role, you know, ABC or CBS. There's plenty of different, leagues that she could have surfaced on. I never would have thought she would have surfaced on this boxing.
Well, I bet you Max Kellerman, man, reached out to her saying, listen, you know, because with her, she's made a lot of money with ESPN. She was trying to get that big seven-figure contract.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't give it to her. And I thought, I personally thought they should have. You know, she probably should have been making $1 million or something, especially if you're going to have $100 million man that you're moderating and all those other guys. But, so it's not the money probably wasn't the biggest deal. She was looking for respect.
Yeah.
You know, so even if she took this obscure deal, they're probably paying her more than a lot of people there. I bet you Max recruited her to come there. Anyway, so why is everybody on Stephen A. Smith's ass? That's the question.
And that she had won that debate?
Trending topic, and his words carry weight. And
now, you know about Matt Barnes, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. So he has something to say to Stephen A. And of course, Stephen A. can't let anything sit, right? So
I just saw a
we're
video
going to say a little bit of this.
of Stephen A. Smith having an issue with LeBron on a golf course with a bunch of white boys, as he put it, talking about Memphis and how they should move to Nashville. And if you've been paying attention on social media, it's kind of a trending topic right now.
But have you heard about that topic?
Not at all.
So a lot of the NBA players don't like to play in Memphis because it's second rate all the way. The hotels they stay in, used to be a lot more crime ridden before Trump did his thing there, right? And they didn't like it there. And so many NBA players have said this on their podcasts and stuff that they don't like going to Memphis. And then they talked about if we don't go to Memphis, they should move to Nashville. Okay. So the real punchline is that Memphis is, of course, quote unquote, like a chocolate city, 67%. They don't have anything there. The only thing, that would draw that they really have is the basketball team. So if you take that basketball team and you move it to Nashville, which is, of course, predominantly white, they have the hockey team. They have everything in Nashville, right? It's upscale, has the money, has this and that. So when LeBron was on a golf course with a whole bunch of white men talking about moving the team from Memphis to Nashville, the consideration of what would be left in Memphis and the blacks if you take their one sole possession away. And Stephen A. mentioned that. You know, and he's not the only one, but a lot of people talk about that because Memphis wants to hang on to that team and have something as a beacon to build around. You know what I'm saying? You take that away, now all you got is, you know, the cops beating the hell out of a driver, you know, and they're getting off. Anyway, so this is one of the things that Matt is getting on Stephen A. for screaming on LeBron about, because a lot of people are saying the same thing. But LeBron was on a golf course, and his golf buddies were all white men who have no allegiance to Memphis at all. So it looked like LeBron was like code switching. You know, so that's what Nate was talking about. Some other people, whether he was or not, you know, is a debatable thing.
Memphis got a lot of love for the city, but there's no doubt that the city needs to upgrade when it comes to its facilities for pro players. But Stephen A., you shouldn't have a problem with that. You're talking about his words and what they mean to the black community, but you've been the same man in front of the camera for the last handful of months, disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party, the whole white Republican Party. But you got an issue with LeBron talking about a trending topic, and his words carry weight, and he doesn't understand what his words can do to the black community. Do you understand the bullshit you're talking and what that can do to the black community? We all used to have a lot of love for you, bro, particularly me, because you looked out. But we're not going to forget the bullshit you on right now.
Welcome to the latest edition of Straight Shooter.
Sir, you know, Stephen A. is not going to let this shit go. We're not going to listen to all of it.
It never does.
Courtesy of my YouTube channel and the whole bit. That was Matt Barnes, former NBA player, host on All the Smoke podcast, somebody that I thought was a friend, somebody that I had aspirations to be in business with. Somebody that I thought would have the courtesy to reach out and call me before I saw that shit he just said on social media. You know, this is going to be a very interesting podcast episode today, to say the least. Because contrary to what people may want me to do, I am not going to disrespect Matt Barnes the way that he just disrespected me. I got a lot of love for that brother. As he himself said on the video, I've looked out in the past because I got a lot of love for him. He's a brilliant brother.
No, he's not that brilliant.
For the most part, good and decent. He's had his own issues in the past or whatever. That's his business. I ain't going there. But what that video just showed was some straight bullshit. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would associate straight bullshit with him. But that's exactly what
Yeah, so he goes on to talk about the three things that Matt mentioned, right? Disrespecting Serena Williams. I don't know if you know about that one, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I hadn't even heard about that either.
Yeah. Well, Serena Williams, she did the Crip Walk at the Super Bowl during that halftime show.
Yes.
Right? So, but, you know, she used to, you know, Drake used to bang her out, right? So Stephen A. made a comment that, you know, if, you know, that why would her husband let her do the Crip Walk to try to, to try to diss an ex-boyfriend? He said, why is she giving an ex-boyfriend any energy at all? And he said, if she was my lady, right, or if I had a lady, she wouldn't be thinking about no ex-boyfriend.
Right.
And then Serena's husband came on the show, one of the show, but Stephen wasn't in the audience. I mean, he wasn't in the studio. And he challenged Stephen A. on national TV about talking about his wife. You know, and then of course Stephen A. kind of backtracked, but I agree with Stephen A. on that. I mean, my wife is not going to be giving any energy to some other guy. That's just all in the past. You know, there's no get back that's required. You with me now.
Correct.
You know, so, but Stephen A., he still apologized like he always does. He backtracked and pussyfooted around and said, yeah, if I disrespected her, you know, blah, blah, blah. Only because he mentions her name and not the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes, he could have talked in general,
right,
and made an inference. People would know who he's talking about without using the name.
Right. So, and he actually brought her husband into it. You know, if she was my wife, I would, you know, so that brings him into it too. So he apologized. But for Jasmine Crockett and for the what's the hyena? Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to, you know, he really gets mad. I don't want to go through it because he takes his time going through all that. He had nothing to apologize about what he said about either one of those ladies. You know, and he did because all the black bourgeoisie came on him. And that's why he's persona non grata now with a lot of them. But he still landed one of the biggest interviews. You know, he's still doing his thing, but he has a lot of opposition, of course, on the black left, who are still firmly, you know, picking cotton for the white man. You know, so anyhow, so that's where that goes. You know, so I mean, so it's a new thing. Stephen A. is he's arguing either Jason Whitlock, you know, Jasmine Crockett, you know, Jamel Hill, Carrie Champion. I mean, they all want him to bend the knee, and so far he's not necessarily bending all the way down. He hasn't bent the knee all the way yet. You know, and I can't stand guys. I know you're left leaning and stuff, but we're not a monolith. You know, it doesn't make a man a coon or anti-black not to believe in the bullshit on the left. Even if you don't believe the stuff on the right, we're not a cult. We shouldn't be a cult. You know, if you don't believe all the shit that they're talking about from the black bourgeoisie, you're not one of us. That's not true. It's absolutely not true. I think we need to stop doing that to people. I mean, the recent situation with Chili, right, from TLC. She was giving money to the the Trump campaign. They found out, and they try to cancel her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wrong, and I think what made it worse is that she backtracked. You know, some people need to come out and just say, listen, you know what, hey man, this is the way I want to live. I don't agree with a lot of shit that's going on over there. And that's why I'm the way I am. And it's not about Trump. That guy's going to be gone in 3 years. You know? So anyway, so that's one of those kind of things. So Matt Barnes is throwing that black card thing at him. And Stephen A. goes on this rant. You know, his show is not bad if you ever see his podcast, Straight Shooter. But he's all over the place. He's got a lot of different topics.
Yeah, I can't say that I've watched this show. You know, I used to watch, you know, First Take, you know, pretty regularly.
Yeah, I haven't watched an episode of First Take in so long.
Yeah.
It's just not. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. But I can't play. Wait a minute. Luka, they're cooked. There's a couple of guys talking about these guys being cooked.
What's your reaction to the Lakers losing Luka and Austin Reeves for the rest of the regular season?
I mean, you know, them not playing these next couple games, we still gonna sit in about 4 or 5. So
Worst the Lakers finish is 5th in the West.
So we know where we're gonna be.
We still have hope.
Now being healthy, hamstring, the way Luka plays, man, that can get triggered. So hopefully when he's in Spain, they give him that stuff that we don't allow here.
That gets out of your system quickly before you land back in.
Austin Reeves, oblique, right? So is it on the right side, left side? That's the shooting side. Hopefully it's not, but that's the injury you got to worry about. Listen, we're not fully cooked, but the barbecue grill is on. The chef got his shit on. The meat is all laid out, right? To put the coals.
That's true. The barbecue shit's on. So what is the playoffs one of the best parts of the NBA? You still watch some games, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what I get into it is the playoffs. But that's the best part of the NBA. But one of the things that I question about Gilbert Arenas is, he refers to the Lakers as we, right? To my knowledge, he never played for the Lakers. I know he played for. He played for Washington and
right.
Or Golden State was his original team, and maybe one or two others.
I don't know why he said we either, man. Maybe it's just one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
But his podcast, he's become a pretty prominent podcaster himself as a second career.
Mm-hmm.
He got in trouble. I don't know what happened to that. He just got in trouble, like in the last 6 months with the law. I don't know if it was gambling or something was going on, and somehow nobody's talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, man,
he's an entertaining dude. There's no doubt about it. I think I had mentioned to you that show Shooting Guards. He was in
yes.
that, where they talked about his stint with the Wizards and the trouble that he got into there. And that was a very, very good documentary. So
right, and listen, he was a knucklehead as a player, or else he could have went down as be one of the greatest.
Oh yeah,
he's much more straight laced now as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He'll probably still bend the rules here and there, but his head is. I'm surprised at how straight his head is now, and the fact that he still has money. Because when he was in the NBA, man, this guy, he's gonna land himself in jail or something.
Yeah.
He
was immature. He was, he acted 5 years younger than he was, basically,
with a lot of money.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. with a lot of money. So, so I didn't have much today to talk about. That I was going to just go breeze through. If you had some topics you think, well, here's my questions though. And I didn't even take care of all the questions. Some of them were for last. The first one is the only one I changed. Is why so many black elites, elitists, that's what I really meant to say, coming after Stephen A. Smith. And I just think because his political aspirations, right? He's like an independent, but depending on what show he's on, he sounds like he leans left. And sometimes he sounds like he leans right?
Mm-hmm.
If you hear him talk. And when he leans right, all of a sudden he's, he hates black people. And the truth of the matter is, the elites who run the left and who run the white, they go to the same country clubs. There's no additional prejudice from the left from the white people on the right than it is from the left. It's none. They just use the pawns differently. So I just think it's kind of crazy to hear so many black people think we got a lot of allies on the liberal side of the pond. It's just not true. It's just not true. So anyway, that's just the way I look at it. So anyhow, man, any other thoughts going on? This Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark is another one. He defended Stephen A. Smith against Jason Whitlock, who hates Stephen A. Smith big time. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
And of course, the WNBA got their money. So they're all fat, dumb, and happy. Each one of them buying a new pair of scissors.
Yeah. But, I didn't read all the details of the agreement with the WNBA, but, there's always a compromise, right? So when the Players Association declares that they got all of the things that they wanted, you know that there were some concessions that they had to give up. You know?
Well, they, you know what is funny? They got, I think what they really wanted was to get salaries that they felt was commensurate with being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think some of the things they lost was you were getting housing, what do you call it?
Like a stipend.
Yeah, stipends. I think some of that went away, you know. But when you start to pay some players into the millions of dollars, I think that's the kind of respect they were looking for. The other one was revenue sharing. But when the business is not making any profit, revenue sharing to the owners is just another expense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and that's why they didn't get what they wanted. They wanted somewhere almost like 40-50%. The owners say you got to be crazy. Yeah. So I think they settled somewhere around 18 to 20%, which I think is still a lot.
Yeah, that seems like, actually that number seems low in percentage because, you know, I'll have to go back and look, but I thought like the NFL, and not to compare the NFL to the WNBA, but when we're talking about percentages, it should be relatively the same. The Players Association, they get, I'm not mistaken, 50% revenue, right? The revenue sharing.
In the league, in the big leagues that are making money, right?
Yeah.
So like in the NBA or the NFL, it's like it was always hovering around 51, 49%.
Correct.
That kind of stuff. But that's because these businesses are profitable. It makes all the difference, between revenue and earnings.
Yeah.
So
would think a percentage is a percentage, though. If the NFL is getting 50% of players, then the players in the WNBA.
Okay, but there's a difference, right? It's a difference. If my revenue if I have a profit margin like the NFL does, I don't know how big it is, but it's huge, right? They might bring in $2 or $3 billion worth of revenue, but their profits are another $3 billion on top of that. So if their revenue is sharing, there's revenue sharing, which is like a liability or just another bill to the owners. They can split some of that with the players because that's where the salaries come from. They're counted as it comes out of part of the revenue.
Right.
But the profits keep the owners happy because I can give you that extra percentage of revenue because overall the business is making a big ass profit in earnings.
Mm-hmm.
When my business doesn't have any earnings, then when I share my revenue stream with you, I'm paying for that. I don't have that's an extra bill to me.
Yeah,
so,
I see what you're saying.
Right? So, I think I'm saying it the best way I know how, because there's a lot of people who mix revenues and earnings together. No. You could have a business with $1 million worth of revenues and be broke.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's all about, you're right, profits.
Yeah.
And most corporations, if not all, they really measure themselves off not just the revenue, but the profit margin.
Yeah.
Is it a 10%? Is it a 15% profit margin on the revenues?
Exactly.
Or are you just breaking even? Basically.
Or you just break it even. We look at our own business or your business when you did those books for the employees. You paid the guy $100,000, but he's worth to the corporation $250 because they got all of that overhead and everything on his hourly his CLIN number or whatever you call it.
Contract line item, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. I tell you what. So I'm not an expert at it, but I understand that. Shoot, I get $100,000, but the company gets $250.
Mm-hmm.
For depending on what kind of employee and what line you fit under. If I'm the janitor and I'm getting $50,000, that the company might get 60 out of that, but if I'm the lead engineer, I'm just keep going. If I'm a CEO or something, I can't imagine what he's worth.
Right. Right.
You know. So anyway, so that's that, man. So anything else? So here's some boxing coming up. Well, Deontay Wilder's back at it. He just won a fight on the 4th. He looked terrible, but he won. He won. The guy don't have no skill. He hasn't learned any. He got the right hand, and if he can't knock you out with it, he doesn't have, his jab sucks. He doesn't have. He's a one-hit wonder.
So he really doesn't try to refine his boxing game.
No.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, if he had to get, remember when Hearns fought Leonard?
Mm-hmm. Tommy Hearns. Yeah.
Remember that fight?
Oh yeah.
You know, Leonard turned into the brawler, and Hearns boxed better than anybody ever saw him box in his life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because everybody knew about the right hand, but
plus Hearns had the big reach on Leonard too.
Right,
He
right.
had the longer arms.
So he was doing all that. Then Leonard had to say, you know what? I got to get in close and beat this guy's ass. So he had to take a couple of jabs to get in there. Man, they changed the way they, you know, the famous "you blown it, kid, you blown it."
Yeah.
Oh man, I made so much money that night. I don't know. I was a big Leonard fan. I'm in a room full of frat brothers, man. Some of the oldest. We out there, had the whole spread out there and everything. Man, that fight was like a happening.
Yeah, it definitely was. That's when boxing was boxing. I've
That's
said it
when
before,
boxing-
man.
Exactly.
You know, I can name 90% of the boxers back then, but now I can't name 1%.
And I don't blame you. I can't either. That's why I only got a few things up here. That's, just finding these couple of fights to just put up here with Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Back in the ring, where he should leave too. But I think they're trying to set something up where there might be a 4th fight with Wilder, but I don't know how much that's going to draw. Tyson Fury's just a better boxer. And then this guy Worrell is a pretty good boxer. He's fighting a guy named Smith. They're going to go 12 rounds. And these are some fights on the, that's this month, but no real big names that people will know.
Mm-hmm.
So I might watch these because I'm familiar with the fighters. Other than that, man, that's all I had, man. Everything else cool?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's
right.
good. No, it's a well put together show like always, man.
I appreciate that, man. Anybody out there, out there looking at it, hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel and all that kind of good stuff. Fair use for all the stuff that I used. And of course, we have the outro. Yo, so man, so anything else going on, man? You don't have to say anything personal. I'm just saying, just chilling. Hey, so how about the your silver, man? It's $4.
Yeah, it's doing all right. Silver is, I mean, it dropped, it dropped, but it's coming back a little bit the last day or so, and but yeah, and oil is, I guess it's going to continue to go up. I think it had a dip the last day or two.
Well, I think the Straits, whatever I'm gonna destroy everybody who lives over there. Bluff was played, so it kind of came back. But oil's paying $7.47 today, this month.
Is that right?
$7.
So they've announced it already because I haven't checked.
I sent you I thought I sent you a.
You sent it
text.
to me last month. Maybe I
No, I just sent you a recent text. Maybe it just didn't get to you, or you didn't look at it, or maybe I sent it to somebody.
Nah, man. Let me see. I don't see anything.
And that's what I'm saying. If you don't have it, I might have sent it to somebody.
Yeah.
Because I distinctly remember sending it to you this week.
Nah, the last thing I got from you was you were joking about at least I have hair when I was going to the barbershop. That was March 25th.
Yeah. Okay. So I just sent 2 texts after that. You just didn't get them then.
Nah.
Tuesday, April 7th.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Wow.
That's odd, man.
Yeah, it's odd because it says it was sent, and it doesn't say like it got kicked back to me. But I sent you the Silver's 4.85. Oil is 7.47.
I'm gonna shut my phone down and just restart it, man. But no, I didn't get it, man.
Well, that's all right, man. You know now, man. So listen, I tell you what, man. I'm just tripping over those two plays, though, man. I'm telling you, they've been such a you know, this month, this first quarter ending the end of March, I made $21,000 worth of dividends.
Man, that's crazy. Hey, you're off the stream, right?
No, man, I don't care nobody that. But I'm in this game. I gotta play my whatchamacallit. But anyway,
you gotta do your outro, man.
Well, I don't have to do it. But anyway, man, the point really is I'm out and I can end the stream. It's not a good deal. I ended the stream.